back to GoldSeek TV. I'm Vanessa, Collette, and I'm here with Ian Graham, the CEO of Montan Mining. Welcome, Ian. It's great to have you here.
Thanks, Vanessa. It's good to be here.
Now, Ian, toll milling has really had a bit of a buzz in the industry just because in this kind of environment, it's really one of the only models where you can control costs. And we've talked before about getting involved in businesses that you're passionate about. What is it that you like about toll milling?
Vanessa, I think I particularly like the scalability of the model. It is a good fit, I think, for small companies and particularly small public companies financed in this market. It offers a relatively quick track to cash flow and, as I say, is scalable, which is very attractive.
Right. Now, can you give us a bit of an update what you have been doing in the last several months in Peru?
Certainly. Really, Montan's focus has been coming public, and we did that through a merger RTO structure with Straight Minerals. We accomplished that in early March this year. And so that was the focus late last year and the early part of this year. And then our model was to find a near-term cash flowing opportunity, and we're very excited with what we found at Moyahuaca. Built, ready to run gold toll mill in a good location and on a large parcel of land with long-run tailings opportunities. So very exciting indeed.
And I know one of the aspects of your company is you have a lot of local on-the-ground management there, and your chairman, Luis, is actually, I think he's locally based.
Yeah, Luis is Peruvian-Canadian. He was born in Peru and spent the early part of his life there. His parents relocated to Canada during the Troubles. But Luis has always been very passionate about Peru. And so he's happy to be based there, to return to Peru and to build a business there. And so the family have broad connections in the country, and he is building a team around those connections and around his business experience in Canada, in particular in the public markets. So I think it's a wonderful blend of Peruvian passion and local knowledge with a very experienced view of investment banking in Canada. He worked with Canaccord here and established a Latin American equity sales desk for Canaccord, based out of Toronto, and then ultimately actually based that role in Lima.
Excellent. And what's your vision for the company? You guys founded, Montan. So what's your vision?
Vanessa, the real vision is to have a cash-flowing mining company, to be involved in the business of mineral extraction, mineral processing, and to do that initially in Peru, and to focus on really a margin business that is secure through the cycles and based on mining. I don't really know anything else. I love the industry, and for me, the cycles are really something that we face in the business, but quite often the best opportunities arise in the toughest parts of the cycle.
Absolutely.
And so for me, the timing on Montan, certainly it's challenging, but the opportunities that we're seeing, not least Moyahuaca as an example, make this, I think, a compelling time to build the business. But our long-run view is to continue building it, opportunistically for the most part, and looking for good margin opportunities.
Now, you mentioned making a business secure. How does the company do that?
Vanessa, out of the gates, security is not something that is readily established quickly. So that's been one of the reasons we've looked at toll milling. We believe we can put in place a reasonable margin quickly, but I think over the long run, it's acquiring opportunities that have well controllable costs and relative to the peer group are cost competitive. ideally in the sort of lower quartile of costs, but certainly in the lower half of the cost curve.
And what kind of production numbers are you looking at specifically for the first mill?
The first mill, Moyawaka, is really quite a modest size today. It has a built capacity of 140 tons.
Okay.
And to be honest, our immediate focus will be on reaching the 140, 150 ton.
Is it a modular setup?
Mark. It is modular, and so we will be able to expand it. The mill is currently permitted for 180 tons a day. We'll be increasing the permit in the near term, but quite honestly, decisions about expansion really will await our success and as we build feed for the mill. So no firm plans, just a plan to grow in lockstep with the feed that we're able to secure.
And speaking of securing the feed, how do you go about securing the feed from the various artisanal miners there?
The business in Peru is quite old. It's been operating under the current model among a number of private companies in Peru as it presently operates for over 30 years. And the business of gathering mineral feed, the acopio process, really is the building personal relationships with small miners.
Right, okay.
And so we're building a team with the capacity to do that. We will be looking for opportunities that with past producers and others that can provide perhaps a little more volume in feed, but our central model will be the acopio ore gathering model.
Okay.
We do have a small mine of our own which we'll be looking to expand, and we will be looking for other mineable opportunities in the region.
Well, just as we wrap up, Ian, what can investors be watching out for in the next 12 months?
Vanessa, our principal goal is to get Moyawaka into production. So we've just refurbished the mills. The small 30-ton-a-day mill is now back in at Moyawaka. The large mill will be back in the next 10 days. What investors should look for near term is that we are cash flowing, and then should be watching how we put together our ore feed arrangements and how steadily we're able to grow the business. Our immediate aim is to be at the 140-ton mark about a year from now.
Okay.
So it's a relatively modest aim, and I hope we can do it by a transparent, fair ore purchasing process and get a reputation for fair dealing with the miners.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much for stopping by today, Ian. It was a pleasure.
Thanks, Vanessa.